Have you seen an algae or paramecium move under the microscope? They beat these hairs that propel them through the water. Microtubules with their protein structure make up cilia and flagella on these motile structures, like this algal Lugulina cell with its two flagella. These structures have up to 1,500 rotations per second, powered by a rotary motor. Although hair-like, these structures have an intricate 9+2 pattern of microtubules. In plants, only sperm have flagella. Hi, it's Denise DeBusk, and in this video I'm going to talk about the remaining organelles in the plant cell. In this concept map of the plant cell's organelles, I grouped them into four broad categories of functions. I talked about manufacturing and breakdown organelles in the first video. Now I'll talk about the organelles used in energy processing and support movement and communication. Plastids and mitochondria both deal with energy. Mitochondria are found in all eukaryotic cells and convert sugar into ATP. Chloroplasts make sugar so that they can be used by mitochondria. We also have other plastids that store certain products. Finally, we have the cell wall, which supports the cell, the microtubules, which is used in movement of some algae and separation of chromatids, and plasmodesmata that allows communication from cell to cell. Let's discuss each of these in a bit more detail. The next two are going to be energy producing inside the cell. Cell stores energy as highly energetic but fairly unreactive compounds such as sugars and starches. To use the energy, such compounds must be broken down and their energy must be used to synthesize new compounds that are both highly energetic and very reactive. The most common being adenine triphosphate, or ATP. Mitochondria carry out this cellular respiration. It has an outer membrane, then a folded inner membrane, which is called a cristae. The enzymes needed to carry out these series of reactions are found in these folds. It is folded to increase surface area and allow for more reactions to occur. Mitochondria, as well as chloroplasts, have their own circular DNA and ribosomes, resembling that of prokaryotes. The Endosymbiotic Theory describes how a large host cell and an ingested bacteria that became dependent on one another for survival, becoming mitochondria and chloroplasts in the evolution of eukaryotic organisms. The chloroplasts make the products used by mitochondria. Here's a cell with a bunch of chloroplasts, and if you see chloroplasts, that means we're doing photosynthesis. The parts you should know. This membrane here is called the thylakoid membrane. A stack of thylakoids is a granum, and then there's going to be a liquid portion called the stroma. Going over photosynthesis, the light reaction is going to take place on this thylakoid membrane, and the actual conversion of carbon dioxide to carbohydrate, or Calvin cycle, occurs in the stroma. The reason we have increased surface area is to absorb more light because the chlorophyll molecules sit right in the thylakoid membrane. In addition to chloroplasts, other plastids include amelioplasts, chromoplasts, and leucoplasts. Amelioplasts store starch. So where do you think these are going to be found? They are found in non-photosynthetic areas of the plant. This can be in starchy seeds like wheat, rice, corn, or vegetables such as potatoes and yams. In this developing bean that has been stained, the large pink areas are the starch grains, and the purple ones are the protein bodies. In starchy vegetables, amelioplasts make up the bulk of the tissue. If it is exposed to light, amelioplasts can be converted to chloroplasts. That would make this potato turn green, although the green parts wouldn't taste very good. It also increases the solanine, which is toxic. Chromoplasts are found in some flowers and fruits like tomatoes, peppers, and yellow squash. Bright red, yellow, and orange lipids accumulate as they differentiate into highly colored chromoplasts. Have you ever seen a tomato go from green to red? Lipid pigments are present in low amounts in leaf chloroplasts, but are masked by the abundant green chlorophyll. They can be seen in autumn when cold weather causes chlorophyll but not lipids to be broken down and the leaves turn red or yellow. Leucoplasts are large unpigmented plastids involved in fat and lipid synthesis. When it comes to structural elements, microtubules and microfilaments are the most abundant. They act as a cytoskeleton, holding certain regions of the cell surface back, while others expand. Without them, they would just be spheres. Microtubules, shown in pink here, are often located next to the plasma membrane. Here they act as a screen, keeping vesicles away or pulling the plasma membrane away from the cell wall, allowing material to accumulate. Microtubules are composed of two types of protein, alpha and beta tubulin. Microtubules have several functions. They're used in motility. Flagella occur on many algal and plant and fungal cells, although in plants only sperm have flagella. Another function is its use in cell division. An array of microtubules called the spindle is formed in the middle of the cell, and the chromosomes are pushed and pulled into their proper positions. Microtubules make up a pair of centrioles, which is associated with making the spindle. It makes up 9 sets of 3 short microtubules and are held together with protein spokes. Another major structural component of plant cells is the cell wall. The majority of plant cells have cell walls, the exception being some sperm cells. It not only provides strength and protection, but it's also a site of considerable metabolism. Cell walls are composed primarily of the polysaccharide cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectins. Cellulose is not easily broken down. Have you ever seen what corn looks like coming back out the next day? All plant cells have a thin primary wall, and some have a secondary wall. The secondary wall is almost always has the compound lignin in it. This makes the walls considerably strong. You may notice that the cell walls are glued together with middle lamella. So how do plants communicate? Plant cells are interconnected by small channels called plasmodesmata. The plasma membrane passes through them and creates a contiguous membrane from cell to cell. A small stream of cytosol and a section of ER also passes through them. They can occur singly or in clusters called primary pit fields. Notice in this photo that there's also intercellular spaces. In some tissues, especially leaves, cells are so loosely connected that the volume is mostly intercellular space. This allows gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen to diffuse quickly. I hope this was helpful.